Eartha Kitt's story does not begin on a stage. It begins in silence.
In the South, and being poor in that way, no, it was not very easy, because I remember times when we didn't have anything to eat for...
Only married once, though. Are you picky?
Once was enough.
About pain being ignored by those in charge.
You are born with a certain kind of feeling within you, and either you are going to allow it to come out, or you're going to... Is everything ready for tonight?
Oh yeah, I thought we'd start off with soup and a light salad, and then see how we feel after that.
Not the dinner. You know.
Oh, right.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes. Look at you.
Do something with it.
It's just money coming to me easily. Money coming in and needing me. Money coming in repeatedly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming in to be with me. Money coming in secretly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me always. Money coming in all day. Money coming in all pay. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me frequently. Money coming in to be with me. Money coming in secretly. Money coming, it's just money coming. It's just money coming to me easily. Money coming in and needing me. Money coming in repeatedly.
Eartha Kitt's story does not begin on a stage. It begins in silence, in the American South, in 1927. She was born on January 17th in a small town called North South Carolina, at a time when being poor was dangerous, being black was dangerous, and being different was unforgivable. Eartha Kitt entered the world already carrying a burden she did not choose. Her early childhood was marked by instability, violence, and deep emotional wounds. She would later speak openly about being abused as a child.
On a cotton plantation in the South, and being poor in that way, no, it was not very easy, because I remember times when we didn't have anything to eat for what seemed like an unsurmountable amount of time, and we had to rely on the forest and whatever we could dig out of the ground, such as weeds, or a kind of grass, I remember, that had a kind of onion growing at the bottom of it. And when we could find things like that to eat, then we were all right.
You said, my mother gave me away at the age of 5, and if my mother gives me away, she doesn't want me. So why should anybody want me?
Well, I think that when a mother gives a child away, according to the way I feel, as you are asking me that question, it is true. I have always lived with a feeling that if my mother gave me away, as I feel anyone would feel if one's mother gave you away, that means that the most important person in the world didn't want you. Whatever the reasons might have been, I think that there are many explanations I can make for my mother giving me away. And I think that even though I have tried to explain within myself as to why she gave me away, it's still very difficult for me to accept it.
How do you view the people now that you're at the top and all the sort of fawning admirers? Do you sort of stay within yourself and look at them and think, would you really want to know me if I wasn't Eartha Kitt? Do you have this sort of reserve about meeting people?
Yes, I think because of a fear that you have, that whomever comes into your life, you're wondering if they really like you enough not to give you away.
As a mother, you've chosen a very hard business to live in, haven't you? To be a mother, I mean.
Well, I know they say that it is very difficult to be a mother. I think that my mother-in-law was one of the first ones to say, how could you possibly go through the aggravation, because to her it was an aggravation to carry my child around the world with me. As a matter of fact, this is one of the first times I've ever been without my child. And I didn't think of it in terms of being problematical. I thought that as a person, as a mother, whatever my life was or is, that I am a mother first of all, and that whatever I have to go through, then I also have the responsibility of taking care of my child. Therefore, for me to be a mother in show business may look difficult to someone else who's looking on, but I've found ways to share show business and be in show business and still be the kind of mother I would like to be. In the beginning, particularly, the enemies that I had mostly were black people. And I think was because, and is also today, because they don't understand me, and they don't understand that I don't think of myself in terms of being a black person. I think of myself as being a person who belongs to everybody. But I think one should always feel this way. I think that as long as you are feeling in terms of belonging only to one race, one nationality, and one religion, that you have to be prejudiced. And therefore, since I have always, according to where I was born and how I was born, I am an illegitimate child, and at the same time, I was not of completely black parentage. My father was supposedly a Caucasian, and my grandparents are Cherokee Indians. My mother was half black and all of this, and therefore my blood is of yours and of anybody's, and therefore I've always thought of myself as this. And to be prejudiced against any of the other bloods is rather silly to me. Even if I was born absolutely black, I think that I would still feel the same way, because particularly since I have been in a position to do a lot of traveling and to see the trials and tribulations of races against races around the world, I don't think that it's healthy naturally. And I think that religion is somewhat guilty of this, and economics mainly is the most positive thing that I can think of that causes racial prejudices and also religious prejudices. Because no matter what I read about the one harassment against the other one, I see where money is constantly involved.
Yes.
So I think that when we are able to recognize that no matter what the color or religion you belong to, that you are capable of gaining as much as the next person can, no matter what race or religion he belongs to, I think the situation will be much healthier.
From the very beginning, Eartha understood something most children never should. Survival comes before dreams. As a young girl, she was sent north to Harlem, New York, to live with relatives. Harlem was loud, alive, and bursting with culture, but it was not gentle. The pain followed her there. Yet Harlem also planted a seed: music, movement, expression. For the first time, Eartha saw that pain could be transformed into performance. By her teenage years, she found herself drawn to dance, not as a hobby, but as a lifeline. At just 16 years old, she joined the prestigious Katherine Dunham Company, one of the most important black dance troupes in the world. That decision changed everything. Touring internationally, Eartha was exposed to something radical, a world where black performers were celebrated. In Europe especially, she experienced respect that America often withheld. She learned discipline, she learned power, and she learned how to command a room without saying a word. But Eartha was never meant to stay silent. By the early 1950s, she transitioned from dance to cabaret and theater. Her presence was electric, dangerous, playful, intelligent, sensual. She did not perform for the audience. She performed over them. And then came the voice, low, sharp, unmistakable, a voice that purred and pierced at the same time. Her music career took off, and soon the world would associate her forever with one song, Santa Baby. But that song was only the tip of the iceberg. Eartha Kitt was a cabaret queen, an actress, a global performer fluent in multiple languages, and utterly impossible to ignore. Hollywood noticed. In 1967, Eartha Kitt stepped into a role that would cement her image in pop culture forever, Catwoman on the Batman television series. She made the character seductive, cunning, and powerful. To this day, many consider her portrayal unmatched, but behind the glamour was a woman who never separated art from truth. Eartha
You
Kitt
only
had
married
been
once, though.
not a-
Are you picky?
Once was enough.
Too picky about men?
I'm very choosy about friends. I'm very choosy about people. I love people. But I'm very choosy.
Don't you?
Eartha Kitt was not quiet, she was not obedient, and she was not willing to play safe. That refusal would cost her dearly. On January 18, 1968, Eartha attended a White House luncheon hosted by First Lady Lady Bird Johnson. The event was meant to discuss youth issues. What it became was a turning point in American cultural history. When Eartha spoke, she did not flatter power. She criticized the Vietnam War, openly, emotionally, and without apology. She spoke about children being sent to die, about communities unraveling, about pain being ignored by those in charge.
You are born with a certain kind of feeling within you, and either you are going to allow it to come out or you're going to suppress it. And I think that in many ways I was very lucky because I was not restricted by some big brother or whatever you want to call it, to say, to put a thumb down on you and say, no, you can't do this, you can't do that, you must do this, you must do that. Such as, mothers and fathers who are constantly fighting against the children when they get to be a teenager, particularly, and you are trying to find yourself, particularly in your teenage years, and you are searching for a kind of freedom to express yourself, but express yourself the way you really feel is an honest way of expressing yourself. And unfortunately, I think the majority of the time, no matter how much a mother and father or a guardian may love you, they sort of suppress that inner desire to be what you feel you honestly are. And I think that a mother and father should guide you, but guide you as best they can in the direction in which you have the freedom to express yourself and be creative. I don't think that they should try to make a carbon copy of themselves out of you.
What Eartha said was not untrue, but it was unforgivable. In the days and months that followed, the consequences arrived quietly. Invitations stopped coming, bookings vanished, doors closed without explanation. She would later say she had been blacklisted. Whether officially or unofficially, the message was clear. You do not speak like that, and stay welcome. Once again, Eartha Kitt left America, not in disgrace, but in exile. Still, Eartha endured. She raised her daughter. She worked, she survived. And eventually, time softened what power had tried to erase. In the 1990s and early 2000s, Eartha Kitt experienced a resurgence. New generations discovered her through television.
Is everything ready for tonight?
Oh, yeah, I thought we'd start off with soup and a light salad, and then see how we feel after that.
Not the dinner. You know.
Oh, right.
Discovered her through television, animation voice roles, interviews, and tributes. What once made her dangerous now made her legendary. She was no longer just a performer. She was proof. Proof that telling the truth might exile you, but it can never erase you. In her later years, Eartha was diagnosed with colon cancer. Her health declined, but her spirit never softened. She remained sharp, witty, and unapologetic to the end. On December 25, 2008, Christmas Day, Eartha Kitt passed away at the age of 81. The woman whose voice defined Santa Baby left the world on the very day it echoed most. Her life had come full circle, from a child born into pain, to a woman who refused silence, to a legend who paid the price of honesty and lived to tell it.
Every time I get ready to do some stupid shit behind a man, I look at this photo of Eartha Kitt that I keep on my altar, and I ask myself, would she smack the shit out of me? Would she smack the shit out of me for compromising? Would she smack the shit out of me for dumbing myself down? Would she smack the shit out of me for forgetting my self-worth temporarily to please somebody else that doesn't give a fuck about me? Would she smack the shit out of me? And I answer more often than not with yes in my head. I believe that she would in fact smack the shit out of me. So just in case you're thinking about doing something stupid, look, she would smack the shit out of you. She would smack the shit out of you. So before you go texting that man, delete the paragraph. He doesn't give a fuck. Before you go calling, trying to explain, before you go sending the little signal to link up, look at the picture. And remember, mother would smack the shit out of you. And if her daughter sees this, I'm sorry, I hope you don't find this disrespectful. I just know she would smack the shit out of us for being stupid.
Now, don't ask me why at all. Like, look at her here. The nose, same nose from when she was a little kid. So this looks like her real daughter. Again, you can see the hazel eyes in this picture. She has hazel eyes, the colored eyes, the same nose, colored eyes, hazel eyes, the same nose. How did she grow up to become this white lady is beyond me. But it's giving they unalived the real Kit or something. I don't know. And this lady took her estate. Children will be considered a slave even if the father is white, doesn't matter. Because it reinforces white supremacy. It upholds the notion of pure whiteness and any amount of black ancestry in an inferior position, which is the same reason why my father doesn't want me to inherit anything from him, and that's why he discarded me, which I never knew all this because I didn't know my mother was like somewhat of a biracial, and we'll get into that. There's levels of biracialness apparently classified under the one-drop rule under white supremacy. I didn't even know about this. His own hands because he wanted to control Eartha Kitt's estate, and maybe that white lady is her baby father's white daughter who decided to pose as Eartha Kitt's real daughter to steal